You did not decide to become an FBI agent the way you decide what to eat for breakfast. It was not a casual choice. It was not something that occurred to you on a Tuesday afternoon with no particular feeling attached to it. It was something you carried for years before you understood what it was. Maybe you watched a case get solved on the news and felt something move in your chest. Maybe someone described the work to you once, the investigations, the surveillance, the moment a case breaks open, and something in you leaned toward it without permission. Maybe you had been looking for a long time for something that felt like it mattered at the scale you needed things to matter, and this was the answer you kept coming back to. Whatever the origin, the moment you decide to pursue it seriously is the moment you begin to understand just how long and strange and demanding the path actually is. Most people who want to become FBI special agents do not become FBI special agents. This is not a discouraging statement. It is a precise one. Between 2022 and 2024, the Bureau graduated approximately 1,900 special agents from a pool of 48,000 applicants. That is a selection rate of roughly 4%. To put that in context, Harvard University's acceptance rate in the same period was around 3%. You are competing for one of the most selective positions in federal law enforcement, and the competition does not begin at the application. It begins years before, with every decision you made about your education, your physical fitness, your professional history, and the kind of person you are willing to become. This is the full path, not the dramatic version, not the version where the badge appears in Scene 3 and you are running across rooftops by Scene 5. The actual path, from the first decision to the first field assignment, and everything in between that nobody shows you in the recruitment brochure. Stage 1 is the qualification phase, and it starts earlier than you think. The FBI's minimum requirements for a special agent application look manageable on paper: United States citizenship, a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, between the ages of 23 and 36 at time of appointment, a valid driver's license, and at least 2 years of full-time professional work experience following your bachelor's degree. If you hold a master's degree or higher, the work experience requirement drops to 1 year. What the list does not tell you is that meeting the minimum requirements does not make you competitive. It makes you eligible. The difference between eligible and competitive is the difference between standing at the door and getting through it. The FBI receives applications through 5 specialized entry programs: law, accounting, language, diversified, and science and technology. Each one is designed to bring in candidates with specific skills the Bureau needs. A candidate with a law degree and prosecutorial experience is not competing against a candidate with a cybersecurity background and a foreign language proficiency. They are entering through different doors, being evaluated against different criteria, filling different operational needs. Knowing which door to walk through is itself a form of strategic intelligence that most applicants never develop. The most competitive applications tend to come from people who built their qualifications deliberately, not accidentally. They chose their undergraduate major with the FBI's entry programs in mind. They pursued professional experience in accounting, law enforcement, military service, or technology, not only because it was interesting to them, but because it was the kind of experience the Bureau is actively looking for. They learned a critical language: Arabic, Mandarin, Farsi, Russian, Korean, not because it was required, but because it is among the most valued qualifications an applicant can bring. The candidates who walk through the door with the most to offer are almost always the ones who understood what the door was looking for before they started building. Stage 2 is the application itself, and it is not a form. It is a referendum on your entire life. The Special Agent Selection System, known internally as SAS, is a multi-phase evaluation process that begins the moment you submit your initial application online and does not end until the Bureau either extends a conditional appointment or removes you from consideration. The process from first application to final appointment typically takes between 18 and 24 months. Most applicants are not prepared for this. They expect months. They get close to 2 years. Phase 1 is a written test, the Phase 1 test, that evaluates logical reasoning, behavioral judgment, and situational awareness. The passing score is 70%. It sounds approachable. The candidates who score in the top percentiles tend to be the ones who have spent significant time in roles that require rapid decision-making under pressure: law enforcement, military, medicine, finance. The test is not designed to trick you. It is designed to see how you think, and how you think is something that took years to build before you sat down to take it. Candidates who pass Phase 1 are invited to a structured interview, a meet and greet with active agents, designed to assess professionalism, communication, and temperament. This is where the Bureau begins to evaluate something that no test can fully measure: whether you are the kind of person who can represent the FBI in the field. The agents conducting the interview are not looking for someone who sounds good. They are looking for someone who is composed under scrutiny, who communicates without excessive performance, and who demonstrates the kind of judgment that holds under pressure rather than collapsing into it. Phase 2 is the physical fitness test, the PFT. It consists of 4 components: maximum number of sit-ups in 1 minute, timed 300-meter sprint, maximum number of push-ups with no time limit, and a timed 1.5-mile run. Each component is scored on a scale, and a minimum composite score is required to pass. What this means in practice is that you need to be genuinely functionally fit, not gym fit, not weekend fit, but the kind of physically capable that allows you to perform under stress, in gear, in conditions that have nothing to do with a controlled environment. Most applicants who fail the PFT do not fail because they are unfit. They fail because they underestimated how specific the fitness standards are, and they began training too late. The candidates who pass consistently are the ones who treated the PFT as a competitive event and trained for it specifically months before the test date, with the same deliberate preparation they would bring to any other professional examination. Stage 3 is the background investigation, and it is the stage where more candidates are removed from consideration than any other. The FBI's background investigation is comprehensive in a way that is difficult to fully convey without having experienced it. Investigators will speak with your neighbors, current and former employers, professors, friends, family members, and anyone else who has had significant contact with you over the past 10 years. They will review your financial history, your social media presence, your tax records, your criminal history, your travel history, and your associations. They will look for evidence of illegal drug use, financial irresponsibility, foreign contacts that create conflicts, and any history of dishonesty in prior employment or education. The most common reason candidates are removed at this stage is not that they have done something catastrophic. It is that they were not honest on their application. A history of marijuana use disclosed accurately on the application is a data point. The same history denied on the application and discovered during investigation is disqualifying. The Bureau can work with a complicated past. It cannot work with a dishonest one. Former FBI Director James Comey was known for saying that the FBI is first and foremost a bureau of investigation, and the most important investigation the Bureau conducts before hiring anyone is the investigation of the person they are considering hiring. The background investigation is not a formality. It is the Bureau's primary tool for determining whether you are the kind of person the job requires you to be. Stage 4 is the polygraph examination, and it is exactly what you have heard it is. The polygraph is not a perfect instrument. The scientific community is divided on its accuracy as a standalone measure of truthfulness. What the polygraph does reliably, in the context of federal hiring, is create a structured environment in which applicants are asked direct questions about their past and present conduct: drug use, financial crimes, contact with foreign governments, unauthorized disclosure of classified information, and the process of answering those questions under measurement pressure produces data that, combined with the background investigation and the applicant's written disclosures, helps the Bureau make hiring decisions. The candidates who move through the polygraph without complications are consistently the ones who disclosed everything accurately on their application and had nothing to add or subtract from what was already on record. The candidates who fail are frequently the ones who hoped the investigation would not find something, or who believed the polygraph would not detect something they had not disclosed. Both calculations are almost always wrong. Stage 5 is the conditional appointment and the psychological evaluation. Assuming you have passed all prior phases, the Bureau extends a conditional appointment, an offer of employment contingent on the completion of final evaluations. This includes a comprehensive psychological assessment administered by FBI psychologists designed to evaluate personality stability, stress tolerance, judgment under pressure, and the absence of psychological conditions that would impair performance in the role. The assessment is not a test you pass or fail in the conventional sense. It is an evaluation of fit, whether the psychological profile of the person sitting in that room matches what the job will require of them over a career. Stage 6 is the FBI Academy at Quantico, Virginia, and it is where the credential becomes real. All special agents begin their careers at the FBI Academy, located within Marine Corps Base Quantico in Virginia. The training program, formerly called the Basic Field Training Course, runs for approximately 18 to 20 weeks and consists of more than 800 hours of instruction across 4 domains: academics, firearms, physical training, and practical application exercises. The academic curriculum covers ethics, law, behavioral science, investigative techniques, interrogation, forensic science, and counterterrorism. The firearms program qualifies agents on multiple platforms and requires proficiency under pressure, in low light, at various distances, and in tactical scenarios that simulate field conditions. The physical training program continues and intensifies the fitness standards from the application process. And the practical exercises, conducted in part at Hogan's Alley, a mock town built on the Quantico campus specifically for realistic law enforcement scenarios, place trainees inside simulated investigations, arrests, and crisis situations that require the simultaneous application of everything they have been learning. The environment at Quantico is deliberately designed to create pressure. You live on campus. You are evaluated continuously. You are part of a class that depends on collective performance as well as individual performance. The people who struggle most at Quantico are not the ones who are physically or academically underprepared. They are the ones who underestimated the psychological dimension, the sustained demand for performance under observation, without the option of a bad day, without the familiar structures and comforts of the life they left behind to be there. Graduation from the FBI Academy means you are now a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It does not mean you are ready. It means you are qualified to begin becoming ready. Stage 7 is the first field office assignment, and here is the thing nobody tells you. You do not choose it. New agents are assigned to their first field office based on the Bureau's operational needs, not the agent's geographic preferences. The FBI operates 56 field offices across the United States. You will be sent to one of them. It may be the city where you grew up. It will almost certainly not be. The agent who spent their entire prior life in California may begin their FBI career in Minneapolis. The agent who built their qualifications in New York may spend their first 3 years in Jackson, Mississippi. This is not a punishment. It is a structural feature of how the Bureau allocates its human resources. The willingness to go where you are sent is part of what the hiring process has been evaluating from the beginning. Flexibility of location is one of the least glamorous and most consequential requirements of the job, and it filters out a significant number of candidates who cannot or will not meet it. In the field, new agents are assigned to a squad and to a supervisory special agent who will oversee their work during the probationary period. The work is almost never what they imagined. It is paperwork. It is interviews that go nowhere. It is surveillance that lasts 8 hours and produces nothing useful. It is the understanding, arriving slowly over weeks and months, that the job is not a series of dramatic confrontations with clearly identifiable criminals. It is a sustained commitment to a process that produces results very slowly and very rarely all at once. The agents who build long careers inside the Bureau are not the ones who expected it to feel the way it looked from the outside. They are the ones who found something sustainable inside the actual work, the accumulation of evidence, the architecture of a case, the specific satisfaction of understanding something complicated well enough to explain it to a jury, and let that sustain them through the years when nothing was resolving and the work was invisible and the only thing keeping them moving was the decision they made somewhere at the beginning that this was worth it. Starting salary for a new agent enters at grade 10 on the Federal General Schedule pay scale, which as of early 2026 was $59,999 annually before locality pay adjustments. With locality pay, calculated based on the cost of living in the agent's assigned field office city, total compensation for a new agent in a high-cost market can rise significantly above the base. Agents progress through the GS scale based on performance and time in service, with supervisory and management roles available at grades 14 and 15 for agents who demonstrate the capability and desire for leadership. Stage 8 is the career itself, and it is longer and more varied than most people who want the job imagine. The FBI is not one job, it is dozens of jobs organized under a single institutional identity. An agent who spends 20 years at the Bureau may work counterterrorism for the first 5 years, transition to organized crime, move into a supervisory role, spend 2 years at headquarters in Washington, return to the field as a senior agent with a specialty in financial crimes, and end their career running a task force with state and local partners. The career is not a straight line any more than the hiring path was. It is a series of assignments, opportunities, and decisions made inside an institution that will ask more of you in some years than others. The specialized units of the FBI, the Behavioral Analysis Unit, the Hostage Rescue Team, the Cyber Division, the Evidence Response Teams, are not entry-level assignments. They are destinations that agents work toward over years, building the specific experience and demonstrating the specific capabilities that each unit requires. An agent who wants to work behavioral analysis will typically need a graduate degree in psychology or a related field, substantial case experience, and a track record that demonstrates the kind of analytical judgment the unit demands. An agent who wants to join the hostage rescue team will need to pass one of the most physically demanding selection processes in federal law enforcement, equivalent in intensity to special operations military selection. These are not positions you apply for on your first day. They are positions you build toward over a career, and the building is most of the work. The reality of the job on a Tuesday in year 4, when you are 3 months into a financial fraud investigation that will take another 18 months to resolve, reviewing bank records in a field office in a city you did not choose, in a case that will never make the news, is the reality most people who want to be FBI agents never seriously consider. The Bureau is made of thousands of those Tuesdays. The agents who last are the ones who found something worth doing in those Tuesdays, not just in the moments when the case broke and the arrest happened and the work became visible. After 20 years of service, agents qualify to retire with a federal pension. It is one of the most substantial retirement benefits in federal employment, and it is not incidental to the job. It is part of what the Bureau offers in exchange for the decade and a half of disrupted geography, complicated hours, and sustained exposure to the worst things people do to each other that the job inevitably involves. You did not decide to become an FBI agent because it was easy. You decided to become one because something in the description of it, the investigations, the jurisdiction, the specific weight of having a case that matters, felt like the thing you were supposed to be doing. That feeling was not wrong, but the distance between that feeling and the badge and the field office is a path that takes years to walk and does not accommodate the version of yourself that needs things to be simpler than they are. The candidates who make it through are not always the ones with the highest test scores or the most impressive academic credentials. They are the ones who understood what the process was asking of them, not just the technical qualifications, but the character, the flexibility, the honesty, the physical commitment, and the patience to move through a 2-year hiring process without losing the reason they started, and met that asking without pretending it was something easier than it was. Your application is due, not today necessarily, but the work that will make your application competitive is due now. The degree you are choosing, the language you are deciding whether to learn, the physical fitness you are either building or postponing, the professional experience you are accumulating or squandering, the financial habits you are establishing or ignoring, the honesty you are practicing in small situations that will matter enormously in a polygraph room years from now. The FBI does not hire the person who wanted to be an agent. It hires the person who prepared to be one. Start building toward it now, not next year, now. Because the person the FBI is looking for when your application arrives is the person you are constructing right now, one decision at a time, whether you know it or not.